Good evening, everyone. How's everyone's evening going? My evening's going, yeah. I've had a crappy week. But we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss Impact Wrestling. Hey, Jared. So, without further ado, and enough of my bullshit, let's get down to it. Sami Callahan kicks off Impact Wrestling. Yes, the draw. Sami Callahan kicks off Impact Wrestling. He gave a heartfelt speech and calls out Kenny Omega. But Kenny Omega doesn't come out. To his surprise, Moose comes out. He tells Callahan to stop getting involved in his business. You are not the number one contender. I am. And until I finish Kenny off, then you can worry about it. Or something like that. And then out come the Good Brothers with their Hallelujah and Brother and rest and Jesus and stuff. It was very weird, very awkward. I don't know why they were going down that route. But they entered the ring and said they're on Moose's side. And then Moose is like, see, even the Good Brothers are on my side. But I'm not on theirs. And he just instantly took them out and pushed them out of the ring. That was a great segment. Then we go to the back. The Good Brothers come to complain to Callis. Callis says he's still an Impact exec and that he can make matches. Well, he made a match. He made a match with Moose and Callahan versus the Good Brothers. Yeah, that happened. All right, so he can still make matches. So the first match of the night is TJP and Falaba versus PD Williams. It was a fantastic match. Definitely one to rewatch. TJP and Falaba have better chemistry than PD Williams and Josh Alexander, and they showed it tonight because they got the win. They got the victory. The 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that was a fun match. TJP pinned Josh Alexander, which means now he's facing Josh Alexander in an Iron Man match, 60 minutes next week on BTI before the Impact. So yes, there will be commercials involved, but Fightful, Combat, and half of the locker room are saying that this is one match to watch. It was absolutely insane. Shit balls crazy. So we will find out. Up next, W. Morrissey talks all this talk. I understand. I understood it, but I can't word it for word for word. It was basically saying that he basically says the business is fake. Everyone involved is fake. And everyone's out looking for themselves. How he had a seizure at an event and no one cared. And I have epilepsy, so I feel him there. So I don't know. This was pretty much just a poor me kind of segment. I don't really look too much into W. Morrissey at this point. He hasn't impressed me. He can talk, but I don't think he can go just yet. But I didn't watch NXT and I didn't watch WWE, so I don't know any of his experience or any of his movesets or any of his skills. So I have still yet to see anything mildly impressive. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, the match, his promo gets interrupted when he says, "I'll have the last laugh." And he gets super kicked by Rich Swann. He instantly attacks W. Morrissey. And Rich Swann and W. Morrissey are pulled away by security. End of segment. Next up is a 10 knockout tag team match. But Taylor Wilde is missing. She's nowhere to be seen. She's not there. No one has seen her. But Rachel Ellering offered Jordynne Grace as a replacement. And Jordynne Grace like, what? Now I'm a substitute? Like, you're not a substitute. You're my teammate. We need you. So it's now Jordynne Grace involved with Tino Dashwood, Rosemary, Havoc, and Rachel versus Deanna, Tasha, Kira, Kimber, and Susan. Now let me see if I can clearly call this match because it was just freaking nuts. It was chaos. Everyone got their shit in. A lot of tags were made, but I don't think Tennille Dashwood was in the match at all. Neither was Susan. So it was weird having a 10 knockouts match when not all of them were tagged in. Let's see here. Chaos, but the interesting part is at the end of the match, Havoc had Tasha Steelz and Kira Hogan by the back of the head. And Susan had a shoe. She threw it trying to hit Havoc, but it inadvertently hit Tasha Steelz. Then Tasha, Kimberly, Susan, and Kira fight on the outside, while Deanna is fighting Rosemary. So Deanna is distracted by their nonsense, and Deanna gets pinned by Rosemary. And then Impact reported it that at Against All Odds, Rosemary would challenge Deanna for the Knockouts Championship. Fun stuff. Next up, Violent by Design comes out to address Impact. Eric Young describes the origin on why he chose his three members, Rhino, Diener, and Joe. And I don't really remember word for word what happened. That's their department. What was said, but it ended with Kojima coming out to the ring saying 3 words on a mic to Joe, and it was Against All Odds. He said Against All Odds and dared right at Joe. Later on the night, we find it's official. Kojima will face Joe Doran at Against All Odds. Next, we get a flashback of Brian Myers knocking out Cardona. Gia asks Ross what's the update on Matt. Ross says he's fractured an orbital bone and will be out of action for 12 weeks. Breaking kayfabe here, he wasn't at the tapings. He was at Hawaii with his lovely fiancée, Chelsea Green. So he took a break and hanged out with Chelsea Green for her podcast, which is always great. But it's good how this story was played off because he wasn't at the tapings. He was in Hawaii. Fun stuff. He'll be back. Myers comes out, says Cardona is old news. Now we should focus on him. Sam Beale comes up and asks if he's interrupting something. Myers says, yes, you're interrupting my promo. Then he walks up to Sam, calls him a green-horned idiot, and that he should slap his horrible tattoos off his chest. But then decides he won't do that, but he'll teach him how to be a professional wrestler. So we'll see how that's all involved. Next up is a non-named card match. It wasn't on the card. It wasn't promoted. It wasn't anything. So it was surprising. Decay versus Johnny Swinger and Hernandez. The match was solid and fun, but Crazy Steve wins the match. Next up, the main event, Moose and Callahan versus the Good Brothers. It was a very solid match. Definitely one to watch again. But this match quickly broke down between Moose and Callahan due to doing rough tags and just not working well together at all. The match ended when Moose had the advantage, but Callahan tagged himself in, tagged Moose, Moose then walked away. Those few seconds of confusion gave the advantage to the Good Brothers. Callahan fell victim to the Magic Killer. 1, 2, 3. The Good Brothers get the victory. They walk out of the ring celebrating. Callahan wakes up and finds out that he lost. He's walking around the ring. Moose then returns and takes out Callahan with the lights out. I guess the disagreement turned to disrespect. And that's the end of the show, guys. Fun stuff. Now let's see. Comments. I'm not going to read. I'm not going to be on too long. I got shit to do tonight. Jared Woods, Moose versus Sami Callahan. Sami Callahan should bring back Ken Shamrock to face the Good Brothers. Sounds like a good idea. W. Morrissey versus Witch Swan at the Impact against all odds. More than likely, Susan should go back to being Sue Young. Probably. Violent by Design versus Decay in a Monsters Ball match for Impact Tag Team Championship. That sounds like a great match. Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers at Slammiversary. Moose should win Impact World Championship. I think that's the plan. I think he resigned, but there's a story going on. Hey, talking nonsense. I was just about to get offline. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so I'm sorry I didn't do a review this morning. Like I said, I've been feeling really out of it lately. Stressed, dealing with a lot of mental health situations. And there was not much to discuss since there was only 2 matches promoted, and then there was Sami Callahan kicks off. So it wasn't really a good discussional video to do a video this morning. So I'm sorry I didn't do that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, tag me at MiseryEater101 on Twitter. And I will check you guys back next week for another Impact Wrestling. And if there's a card worthy of doing a video, I will see you in the morning. All right, guys. I'm half asleep, but saw you were live. Haha, have a great night. Thanks, man. You too. All right, guys. I'll check you guys later. Byes.